There we are. We got it. It's Destination Uri. It's the morning program. I'm Rowan Hand. This is my friend and colleague and appreciator and aficionado even of fine things, Raymond McCabe.
Morning,
How
Rowan.
are you?
Very good.
I had the
thank you.
great joy of being involved in engraving on a piece of beautiful timber
Yes.
at the front of your emporium on Mary Street the name of a most wonderful person.
Yeah.
Rowan Edward Mary Martin Hand.
RH.
RH. That's there. I cut it down to RH. Do you remember it on the gate?
I do.
I was sitting on
It's
the
actually
gate.
still there.
You're
believe it or not.
joking.
It is.
I need to cut. That gate is gone now, though, has it not?
They nailed plywood in front of it, so if you remove the plywood,
I can get at
you
the
can
back.
Get at the back.
Ah, yeah.
A young vandal in your day.
Young vandal. But you know what I did once, and you'd appreciate that? There was a solicitor in Newry who had a premises on Water Street, and the Water Street was being knocked down, this part of it, and his brass plaque was on the wall, and he had gone out of business for all sorts of reasons, and good reasons they were. But he had gone out of business, and I saw this lovely brass plaque with his name and his company, and the wrecking ball was coming. I parked my car, got my screwdriver out, I took it back, took it down, I polished it, and I returned it to him.
Oh, fair play to you.
Isn't that a good
That's
thing
a good
to
idea.
do? Absolutely.
I thought you were going to say you took it over. Do you remember the place in Monaghan Street?
The rag store, Maggie Hagen's. Was that it?
Beside the creamery.
Beside the creamery.
Yeah.
Sure, who would remember where the creamery was?
Well, that's true. Shortcut.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. But there you are. Now, I dawdled into your place the other day, and I was in a forest of musicality, of pianos. And I have to admit to you, I can play one tune on a piano. And I did that on each of the dozen pianos.
Right.
And each piano had a different sound.
Of course.
What makes them different?
Lots of things. Strings, soundboard, size of the piano, grand, baby grands, uprights,
Wow.
small string, short string, long string, dampers. Yeah.
Well, you'll not be surprised to know that I fell for one piano and one sound in particular. And it was beautiful. Neither will you be surprised to know it was about 15,000 quid.
No.
You get what you pay for.
You do, but like we do second-hand used pianos from 500, 600, 700 for beginners. Funny, I tell the story. I went to buy a piano off an ex-music teacher in Newry recently, about 2 years ago, and I offered her a price for it, and she said, "You know, you're paying me more now than what I paid for it from your grandfather 50 years ago."
But isn't that great?
And a good instrument is always worth its money.
Yeah.
It'll always increase in value.
It's a bit like my voice.
Well,
I'm joking. So yeah, it's all good. The human voice. And the
but
piano.
okay, and then everybody likes. You might like one sound of one, and somebody likes a sound of another, and it's not price; it's sound.
It's sound. At the end of the
sound,
day,
yeah,
you forget. You just look away from the labels
Very much
because
so.
you need to live with this sound.
Of course.
And if you're content with the sound, the money is never a problem because you can go into Brendan Credit Union. They were having a great event there yesterday in commemoration of one of their number who passed away up at the hospice.
Right.
Lovely, lovely, lovely lady of Credit Union. She died,
That's right, yeah.
and they were commemorating her yesterday with a tray of bacon, tea and coffee morning, and raising money for hospice.
Very good.
Isn't that lovely to see Credit Union at the very heart of our community, and then linking in through the misfortune and the awfulness of loss with our hospice?
Yeah,
So,
very good.
so good, you know. It is so absolutely fantastic. Now, you talking about loss, I have a job for you someday. I don't know whether you do it or not. Do you transport things from A to B?
I do.
Do you transport heavy things from A to B?
Depends how heavy.
I once did it nationwide. They made a bridge in Harland and Wolff in Belfast.
Okay.
They made a bridge to go across the M50 at Kingswood.
Okay.
And they'd done it. And that night, that day, the bridge was being taken. 6 o'clock that morning was being transported from Belfast to the M50 at Kingswood. And it was going to be placed across the M50.
Okay.
There's 70 meters of this thing.
Yeah.
And the engineering technology there was wonderful. It was been And I did a nationwide on that. Through the
Very good.
night.
Right.
Biggest cranes in Ireland there lifting it. And there it was a wonderful, wonderful story to do. But the engineering prowess was magnificent because they were dropping it down onto the bolts and it fitted hair's breadth perfectly, perfectly. Now, I don't want you to transport something like that.
Well, you might view that next week, because we're moving a full grand piano and it has to go into a house in the Warren Point Restrevor area.
You're joking me.
By crane, possibly. So, not the biggest crane in Ireland.
No.
It won't be that.
No.
But you can get a laugh. I don't know if you can get Nationwide to do a programme on it.
Well,
But
a lovely piano going, dropping in there, wouldn't it be great? Well, I have this piece of kit is 5 feet 6 high, about 3 feet 6 wide, made of stone.
Right,
It's half a ton weight of Irish limestone.
right,
It's got the map of Africa carved in the top of it.
right, yeah, okay.
You know where I'm going?
Depth.
6 feet. It's my headstone, and I was given it as a present. It's up in Enniskillen with Michael Hoy.
Right.
Michael Hoy up there in County Fermanagh. He does. It's nationwide again, of course.
Right, okay.
Michael does the most wonderful traditional headstones. He uses a hammer and a chisel, and we'd said to him we were coming up to do a nationwide on his work, and I said to him, look, if you get a piece of stone, sort of that size there.
Yeah.
I can put my name on it and I can be walking with my headstone under my arm as part of the piece I was doing for Nationwide. So he said I would, of course. Went up, he was in the workshop, chipping away. And I walked in and he was still doing it. There it was, 5 feet 6, half a ton of Irish limestone, map of Africa carved in it, row in hand across there, 1944 dash. I'm wearing well for 1944,
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. And if I should perish in the near future, they'll be able to say, and he was on the television with Raymond McCabe, and he was saying he was doing look at that, oh.
And I said I would move it for you.
You're going to move it. You have to move it now, that's a deal. You're going to take my head, you're going to take it, but shake on that whenever the time comes. That's done.
And you're not going to do a little spike milligan on the bottom?
No. There's only one thing is going in the bottom of my headstone. It's my mantra for life. And it's hugely important. And it simply says, Ubi caritas et amor, Deus ibi est. And when they look up what that means, where charity and love are, there is God. That's the way we live our lives, or should live our lives, you know.
Right.
And so that was the thing about the headstone. We have to get that taken up. So the piano is coming. That's all good, and that's all happening. And generally, you used to move on. The antiques are more or less they're there, of course.
No, we would.
But you're more into reproduction.
More into
of excellence.
reproduction. Well, more new furniture than anything.
Yeah.
Good quality new furniture.
Yeah.
And funny, something happened last week. The staff were there, and a new table and chairs came in at a lower price.
Yeah.
The customers didn't give off about it. My staff did.
The staff give
They
up.
said, "Why are we getting this stuff in? You just create problems with a cheaper product."
Yeah.
But you understand.
Yeah.
But you have to suit everybody's pocket.
You need to be.
Today's
And cheap's not a word that you would use in relation to McCabe's, because you're never cheap. The stuff you do, going back to Johnny, your grandfather, it's been a high quality within the price bracket.
Well, we don't sell cheap furniture, but we sell good furniture cheaply. Or try to.
I have so many good memories
Yeah.
of your place on Mary Street. I kissed a girl down your entry once, and I was only 12, maybe 13, you know.
Yeah.
And it was my first experience of a kiss.
Can you remember the girl's name?
I can.
Right.
Not going to tell you. She lived on Mary Street.
Right.
Not going to tell you.
Okay. Yeah.
But
A neighbour.
Yes, indeed. Yes, a neighbour.
Yeah. Across the road, or same
No,
side?
no, same side, I think. You're narrowing it down here, you fiend. So the purchasing of pianos, we want to talk about that because, it's not. It needs to fit the house.
It needs to fit the house, also the pocket. And parents are afraid to buy a 10 or 12-year-old a piano. Are the kids going to stay at the piano? They
Yeah.
don't know. So they buy an instrument, and I would always advise them, buy something that you can trade up again. You can go back to it, trade it in, buy a better one. And that's the way to go on it. We sell probably 80% of pianos we sell are new. Brand new.
Yeah.
And recently I had somebody bought a piano off me, and they purchased it they came back to me within 2 or 3 days wondering was the piano made in Europe.
Yeah.
And I told them the truth, no it's not. It's all a European name but it's not. And they wanted a European made piano. I lost the sale of it because it's not European.
Yeah.
But then I looked into it, there are no pianos made in Europe anymore. They're all made in Asia.
Asia.
Yeah, under license. Yamaha, of course, they are Asian. But
Have to say, I would have difficulty living with a Yamaha piano in my house. Because I think of a Yamaha as a vroom vroom or whatever.
they're a very good instrument.
They are, yeah.
Yeah, and like if you see any TV program that it's that, or it's some of the old top German brands,
Yeah.
which are very, very rare now to get.
Yeah, absolutely. I was saying to Andrea the other day, he's coming to Belfast again, Andrea Roux. I said, Andrea, if you are on the violin and we get a McCabe's piano, I'll play the piano.
Play your tune?
Play my tune.
Okay,
Dun, 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 dun. And Roux will be going, you know where he goes. That's great stuff. But I mean, I actually am convinced if I got a piano from you, not that I need a piano, because I spent an enormous amount of money on a 15,000 spring mattress bed. Wonderful. I sent another person to you for a bed.
Thank you very
I hope
much.
that person has been to you.
Thank you.
She's a good person and you look after her. And
Well, sure.
but beds are so important. I went to bed last night at 6 o'clock. I was very tired. And no, I didn't. I'm telling you a lie. I went to bed at 4:30. And I said, and I'm in bed and I go to sleep. And I waken up and I've got to make dinner. I said, no, I'm not bothered making dinner. I don't need to eat. I do need to sleep. And I went to sleep again. I wakened at 3 this morning and got stuck into my work.
Very good.
I said, so the bed is so important in your life. And
Very important.
but they're now back to making the mattresses in the way, you know, if you pluck a mattress now, you could get horsehair coming out of it. You get,
You would get, the beds we do, you'd get wool and cashmere
Wow.
and hemp and a lot of springs. Now, small springs and large
Yeah.
springs and different densities of strength in the springs.
Are there-
Thank God the foam is sort of,
Yeah.
we're moving away from the foam and plastic.
on the thank God, yes,
Yeah.
because I hate those memory foam things. I really detest them because they say, this will establish for you your favorite position.
Yeah.
My favorite position is 27 positions all night long, you know. Tell me about the technology of springs as we lie on the bed. No, I'm not going to go there.
Right.
I will go somewhere else.
I suppose
you ever
could
get a fit of laugh?
It's like the shock of a car. You know,
Yeah.
You know,
I'm just
there's-
wondering
there's
about-
springs within springs now.
Yeah, springs within springs.
Yeah, revolution
Yeah.
springs within a spring.
And are there parts of the bed which need to be more solidly sprung than
course.
others?
The middle third.
The middle third.
The middle third. Your head, your feet, not
And
as
your bum.
much. You put the middle part of the girth of your body
In there.
in the middle. And it's a heavier, all they do, they use the same spring, but it's a heavier gauge spring.
Wow. Industrial.
Industrial.
But the thing, you see, the thing about the new design, it's old design but brought new.
So it's back to the company we deal with Harrison beds, and like
Harrison?
Yeah, 150 years ago they were making beds. They showed me a bed recently, 8-foot circular.
8-foot circular. What would you be doing in a circular bed?
Some football. Sorry, that's. I'd say nothing. Imagine going to find a quilt for that.
Quilts, I have a difficulty with quilts. They never stay on the bed. They go all over the place. But anyway, that's another story. But the thing about the beds that we do and that you do, if I were to get, as I said, I spent a wee bit of money with you because I do need to, I recognise the reality of spending a third of my life in bed. Now, if the bed maybe cost £1,000 or something like that, and the mattress, now you know the mattress I got, would it make a big difference to me and my comfort at night if I were buying a mattress 3 times the price?
I'm going to have to say yes, but it's again like the piano. What sound do you like?
Yeah.
You come in,
feel do you want?
we would have 10 beds just on the floor for show.
Yeah.
For people to come in and lie on, test them, so on. But one big important thing they say about beds is you're always told to turn your bed down in the morning.
Yeah, I do
Bed
that. I do
needs
that.
air.
Bed needs air.
It needs freshened, it needs turned occasionally, top and tail and side to side. The old idea of taking a carpet out and banging it years ago, they used to take thin hair mattresses out.
and do that too.
You're not going to do that today with mattresses.
No.
But a bed, we even suggest to people, it's like fluffing up a pillow.
Yeah, yeah,
Even stand your bed up if you're going on holidays. Leave it stood up in the room for a while.
yeah.
Let
That's
it
what
get
I
back
do. You
into
got me
shape.
into this.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. Every month I change the bed around.
Yeah.
I tumble it that way and I tumble it that
Yeah.
way, and it makes a
And
difference.
a cotton mattress
Yeah.
cover,
Oh,
not a
yeah.
protector. Plastic,
Yeah, I've
but
got that.
A cotton
Yeah.
one.
Now, what about, you know the way in a bed you can get a trolley tray to come in, you can have your breakfast sitting up on your pillows in bed. Is there any kind of piano that you could have? That
Oh,
you would
yeah,
bring the
yeah.
piano in, you could sit and play the piano in your bed?
Remember the little piano you blew into it? One of them.
Ah, that's a long time ago. Goodness gracious. Listen to me, thank you so much for
Very
coming
welcome,
in.
Rob.
It's always a joy to have you in here
you very
because
much.
you are perhaps the oldest, if McChesney would be ahead of you maybe. Declan, God bless him. Good morning, Dec. How are you? We wish you well. Time you were back over here with Jack, because we're getting into the
season.
for
Yeah.
the big...
So I see.
and the Christmas business lunch.
Yeah.
You know, that's coming, which is a great event. But I mean, you're there as an icon of Newry business, having first established, what is it now, 5 generations ago?
5 generations, yeah.
We wish you well.
Thank you very much.
Will you come
Rob.
back next
I
week
will.
to me?
I will indeed.
God
Thank
bless
you very much.
Go well.
Cheers.
Take care.
Thank you.
All the best.
I think I'll go down to the coast for a while, find a little cabin by the sea. I think I need to be alone for a while, find out whatever became of me. Did you ever think that it would be like this? Oh, the price you pay for love. Yeah, the price you pay for everything. Yeah. I think I'll go out for a little drive. Maybe I'll take the long way home. I'm probably more than just a little high, but I need some time to be alone. I'm gonna find out what it means to me. Oh, to give it all up for love, to bet it all on what things seem to be. Yeah. I think I'll go down to the sea for a while, kick my shoes off in the sand. I don't know what I'm gonna be for a while. I don't wanna try to understand. Did you ever think that it would feel like this? Oh, the price you pay for love. Oh, the price that you pay willingly. Yeah. Oh, price you pay.
I skimmed across black water
submerging down to the banks of an urban morning that hungers the first light much, much more than the mountains ever do. And she, like a ghost beside me, goes down with the ease of a dolphin and emerges unlearned, unshamed, unharmed. For she is the perfect creature, natural in every feature, and I am the geek with the alchemist stone. For all of you must discover, for all who seek to understand, for having left the path of others, you'll find a very special hand. And it is a holy thing, and it is a precious time, and it is the only way. Forget-me-nots among the snow, it's always been, and so it goes, to ponder his death and his life eternally. For all of you must discover, for all who seek to understand, for having left the path of others, you'll find a very special hand. And it is a holy thing, and it is a precious time, and it is the only way. Forget-me-nots among the snow, it's always been, and so it goes, to ponder his death and his life eternally. One bright blue rose outlives all those 2,000 years, and still it goes, to ponder his death and his life eternally.
Yeah, Mary Black there on the program, Bright Blue Rose. And if you listen carefully